Hello everybody, and how you been? Last night I saw the new film from Robert Zemeckis, Flight, and I loved it. In fact, the morning after, I'm wondering just how much I loved it, and I think it's a lot. I'm going to go for a 9. I think it's a solid 9. I definitely want to see it again. I don't know if I'll have the time or the funds to do so, but I hope I get to see it again. I think it's one of the highlights of the year. I don't see how it won't make my, top 15. I love it. I think it's a excellent exercise in storytelling. This is Zemeckis' return to live action. I think Castaway might have been his last live-action film. I'm trying to remember. But, he's been caught up in that world that he pretty much helped to create, of the motion capture animation with, he did The Polar Express, Beowulf, Charles Dickens, what the hell's the name of it? A Christmas? God. What is the name of that damn story? It's older than time. Charles Dickens, Ebenezer Scrooge. What is the... I hate my brain. Anyway, that movie. God, what is the name of that damn... That's gonna just kill me. Just eat me alive. Anyway, he's been in that world of animation, and I feel that working in animation, you definitely have to be an astute storyteller. That's basically the dividing line between, a successful animated film and not, is the speed and eloquence of which you tell this perfect story. If you're just... and obviously that goes for any film, but again, storytelling comes to the forefront in animation when it has to be so fluid. So I think he's learned really his way around a story. Not that he hasn't before. He's always made really good films. Philadelphia, or no, not Philadelphia. Did he? No. Castaway, Forrest Gump, a lot of other stuff that I can't remember right now. This is one of his best, I think. I just thought it was great. The story is great. The writing is excellent. The acting is excellent. I'll tell you right away, the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 or a higher score is that at times I thought everything was a little too on the nose. They state their emotions, obviously. There's not much subtlety. The soundtrack is very hits heavy and very, on the nose, in a way that it's kind of like a jukebox. It almost in a way takes a little bit of power away from the story. But I think it's meant to. I will try and form some kind of point, but the film is surprisingly... I saw this as a double feature with The Sessions. I was surprised about how old-fashioned this film is, and I'm not even talking about film. I'm talking about plays. This is a this is a morality play. This goes back to the birth of drama and gets back to the root, again, of story and tragedy, self-destruction. So it honors not only the traditions of film, but I think it also honors the traditions of ancient Greek storytelling. So I think it's really smart, and I think it's really good. And again, it reaches deep into the past, and by reaching deep into the past, and not really caring about how old-fashioned it is makes it seem fresh and new, because in a way, it plays it so safe. I mean, this is very crowd-pleasing. And another reason I'm not giving it a higher score is because I thought, in some instances, I thought that it was a little mocking. That it didn't stay totally neutral. Religion and God is a big theme here in the story. And at times, I thought that, though, again, religion is predominant throughout. Mentions the Bible, God, Jesus, rampant in this film. And at some points, I thought that it slipped into mockery a little bit of religious beliefs. And I always think a film should remain, kind of neutral for the audience. I think that shows, skill, that they can walk that line. But I think here there's just a scene in the film that is, very like praise Jesus, like strong praise Jesus feelings going on. And in the audience, I live in Los Angeles, California, the audience laughed. I mean, and it was funny, in a creepy way. That's, what I believe. But, it's an entire audience of people, laughing at these people expressing their deep faith. So it felt kind of wrong to me, just because I know, watching that scene in another part of the country, even from where I'm from in the Midwest, that scene would not play that way. It would probably be received by the total opposite. Like, oh yes, of course they are right, where here it's like the audience is laughing at the silly Christians. Then it made me feel uncomfortable. It was difficult a little bit, but the story is difficult. Story is about an alcoholic. He's, in a tailspin of self-destruction. And then his tailspin becomes literal. He lives a life of debauchery. He is also a highly touted captain of an airline. While flying a plane, on a short flight, his plane malfunctions, and they plummet to the earth. He manages to land the plane spectacularly and saves pretty much everyone on board except for 6 people. But the whole crux of the situation is that he was inebriated while doing it. Alcohol, coke, very little sleep. He's a functioning addict, basically. And he controls and has sway over all these people's lives many times a day. So the first quarter of the film is about that spectacular plane crash, and the last of it is all about his downward spiral, the public reaction, and how his family or lack of family handles the news, how his friends, lack of friends, handle the news. Basically what happens to his life. And then the government gets involved, and, they want someone to be held accountable for the accident. So it's basically again, just one man's journey. You know, it's got a huge backdrop, but it's about one man's journey. And that one man is Denzel Washington, and this is one of his better performances that I've ever seen. I would prefer this to his Oscar-winning Training Day. You know, even he was balls out crazy in Training Day. And he gets balls out crazy here too, but we just see so much more character work from him. I think this is probably his best performance that he's ever given. It's really outstanding. He's in every single scene. He, you know, goes through every single emotion. You know, he's probably going to win Best Actor. I don't, you know, if someone else is going to win Best Actor, it's got to be Joaquin Phoenix. You know, or a performance I haven't seen yet. John Hawkes from The Sessions, which I'll talk about later. I don't know. Denzel, you know, hit a grand slam here. He's amazing in this film. So probably, you know, one of his best performances, or one of, you know, the great performances from one of our great actors. So, you know, seeing it just for that is something else. Again, it's a masterful performance. All of the acting is very good here. John Goodman is in the film for exactly, you know, 3 scenes, you know, 3 locations, and he almost steals the show. He's kind of, you know, a little bit one note, but it's a great note, and he plays it so well. Again, he's steals the scene, steals the show. If this is finally what he wins his Oscar for, then it's kind of ridiculous, because he's, in a way, kind of playing an amped up version of the Dude, which, you know, he was Walter Sobchak in The Big Lebowski. So I thought that was funny about how he was Walter and now he's the Dude, except, you know, mixed with a little Walter. I thought he was fantastic. He's definitely the most memorable performance in the show. Also stars, let's see here. Gosh. Again, you know, Denzel is the star of the show. Don Cheadle is in it, that's right. He's very good. Don Cheadle is always very good. Who else is in this movie? There's a lot of people in it. A lot of character actors. A lot of faces you will recognize, but not necessarily names that you will know. I always enjoy that. Nadine Velasquez is in the film. I was in love with her for the longest time. She was on My Name is Earl. I think I like gave up watching My Name is Earl like after 2 seasons, but I would still tune in from time to time just to see her. She was, you know, the maid on My Name is Earl. She's absolutely beautiful. She's in this film for a short amount of time. She's absolutely beautiful again, and she's absolutely naked for most of her performance. So that's spectacular. I really enjoyed that. I couldn't believe it, honestly. It was just like an explosion. Who else? Anyway, all of the acting is fantastic. Melissa Leo has a cameo performance. All the cameos kind of really steal the scene here. Just because Denzel is just the anchor. He's in everything. And also there's an actress, I didn't know if there's not really a female lead here, but she definitely has the most dominant female role. I don't know her name. Wasn't even really familiar with her face, but she did a great job as an addict who the captain Denzel meets in the hospital. Really, I think the most expert thing here is the screenplay, and I can't tell you who wrote it, but it's so very well written and such a deep and true analysis of the human condition, this character, you know, what is our obsession with self-destruction, it's just a perfectly told morality play. And it will make you argue with yourself. Is he a bad man? Is he a good man? You will just argue with yourself, with your heart. Your heart will be taken on an emotional roller coaster while watching this film. I think I've said pretty much all I need to say. I really enjoyed it. I want to see it again. The acting was amazing. It was very well shot. Again, just the soundtrack maybe a little bit too hit heavy, on the nose, to where it, kind of pulled me out of the scene a little bit. And again, it just seemed to me, and maybe it was just my perspective, but it seemed to me just to be mocking of religious beliefs at times. And again, that just may be the audience and the region that I'm in, that, we as a people would laugh at that. But I know that were I watching this film in, small town Missouri, then it would, play very differently. So I'm not sure quite what to think about that. For me, that keeps it from being a 10, but I think it's definitely a highlight of the year. This is Denzel Washington's best actor to lose. Again, Joaquin Phoenix, I think, may have tortured himself and endured a lot more pain than Denzel did, but Denzel had to, do a lot of pain as well. So it's a toss-up, really. I thought it was magnificent. And the film is really great. I don't know what else to say, but, please see it on the big screen. It's definitely worthy of seeing on the big screen. The special effects are amazing. The plane crash is spectacular. You're there for it. That's another thing that I really enjoyed. This, is all about the airline industry and how the airline industry works, operates. You get this glimpse into a world that, you don't know. That's always one of my favorite aspects of film. And the power of film is to, show you things that you would otherwise, never experience. And that definitely it comes through here, because you get to learn a lot about the airline industry. And what goes on in the cockpit when they're flying the plane. So that's all very enlightening, and I very much enjoyed that aspect. I very much enjoyed the film. I thought it was great. I hope you see it. It's definitely one of the best of the year. I don't see how Hollywood's not going to love this film. It may not win, but it will certainly get nominated for Best Picture. If it doesn't, that will be a grand surprise. So there you go. I think I've gushed all over enough. So that's Flight. I give it a solid 9, one of the best of the year. Thank you very much.